What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Schixo podcast here on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify, of course. You can follow me on Twitter at Schizomania. You can follow me on Instagram at SchizoForever. And don't forget to tweet or comment hashtag NoFilterPodcast. So, today we are in episode 2 of How to Start a Podcast. Yesterday we talked about staying committed. We talked about staying on your grind. We talked about the 50-day challenge. Don't forget the 50-day challenge. If you are on the 50-day challenge, make sure you put hashtag Schixo Podcast, hashtag 50-day challenge, hashtag No Filter Podcast on your videos so I can see what you guys are doing, so I can see that you guys are staying committed to being on YouTube or on Facebook or just uploading anything for 50 days straight, period. So, day number 2 of how to start a podcast. Let's get into it. Our topic today, let me look at my list. Of course. Our topic today is finding your identity. Finding your identity. What do you want to be about? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to share on your podcast, right? If you decide you want to do a podcast about sports, cool. Find your identity, though. Are you going to be more like a Mike and Mike type of podcast or more like a Stephen A. Smith podcast? And for those of you sports fans who listen to those podcasts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to find your identity. Got to find your niche. Are you going to do a podcast about Game of Thrones? Are you going to do a podcast about politics, about religion, about nature, about recycling, science maybe? What is your podcast going to be about? The 50-day challenge can help you find that. The 50-day challenge can help you find the things that you care about the most. It can help you find the things that you enjoy talking about the most, the things you're most knowledgeable about, or just things you're most passionate about, because not everybody knows everything. I mean, shoot, I'm on this podcast. I don't know everything about everything that I'm talking about, but I know enough because I'm passionate about the things I'm talking about. I'm knowledgeable about the things that I'm talking about because I've taken the time out to try to get a better understanding of them. I found my identity. I found the type of things I wanted to attack. I know that I wanted to talk about real issues, real talk on this podcast with no filter. So I've done episodes on Black fatherhood, done episodes on mental health. I have an episode coming talking about dating with different belief systems, different religions. I have an episode coming talking about black businesses. These are the things that are coming to this channel because these are the things that I'm passionate about, things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the things that people are uncomfortable talking about or the things that people just care about the most. My identity is to have guests on that are very transparent, that are willing to open up about themselves, about their upbringing, about the things that they're going through, about how they feel about certain things. Hey, Zane. That'd be pretty cool if I have like one Hey Zane per podcast. Of course, you guys know my son is about to be a month old in a couple days. Super excited about that. So anyway, we have to find our identities. We have to find our niche. Decide what it is that you want your podcast to be about. Because here's the thing. It doesn't have to be about just one topic. After this 50-day challenge is over on the 26th of August, what you're going to see is a different structure of this podcast because I will not be obligated to post every single day like I still am doing right now for my personal 50-day challenge. So you'll have a sports talk day, potentially a wrestling talk day because I am a wrestling fan. And you'll also have a real talk, no filter day. And that might be 2 days a week. But I don't know. I'm not making any promises right now. We'll see what happens when it happens. But regardless, I know what my identity is. I know what the things that I want to talk about are. You don't want to get on a podcast and have no idea what grounds you want to speak on. You don't want to come into a podcast and confuse your audience because they don't know what it is you're talking about. They don't know what your stance is on anything. You're just rambling on a podcast. That's not going to work. If you look at most successful podcasts in the podcast market, most of them do talk about one specific thing or one specific category. Me personally, I'm able to do that in my own way. I'm able to separate it by days. So every single day of the week, you know exactly what it is that you're getting on that particular day. That's my identity. And my identity is also this, right here on the TV screen, for those of you who can see it on YouTube. #NoFilterPodcast. My identity comes because for years I've held my tongue. For years I've tried not to say anything out of fear of angering people or fear of rubbing people the wrong way. But then when I realize is that they don't care. They say whatever it is that they want to say, and they don't care whose feelings they hurt. So obviously that means, why should I? So with that being said, when I drew up this podcast, I said to myself, you know what? I don't want to hold anything back. I want to be completely transparent with how I feel about things. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this podcast. That is my identity. So my challenge to you guys is to, once again, as I said on the previous episode, I want you guys to start your own 50-day challenge. Upload somewhere. If you want to upload to Facebook, do that. If you want to upload to YouTube, do that. I don't care. All I care about is that you upload for 50 days straight. 50 days straight. That's all I want. If you can upload for me for 50 days straight, I guarantee you will find results. You will learn things about yourself. You will learn things about your own identity, about what you want to talk about the things you care about the most. Because odds are you're going to run out of things to talk about, right? You're going to run out of that little list of topics that you put together. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to find yourself talking about something similar most of the time when you can't figure out the ideas that you want to put together. When you can't jot anything down on the list, you're like, oh man, I'm out of ideas. I'm just going to get on camera and talk about something. Odds are you start talking about the same type of thing on those days. So once again, 50-day challenge. Can you rise to the challenge of uploading for 50 days straight? If you can't, then this episode and the following episodes are not for you. You need to go back to episode 1. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. Once again, this is the Schixo podcast, #NoFilterPodcast. You can subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, and you can also leave a like and a comment down in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter at Schixomania. Follow me on Instagram at SchizoForever. And don't forget your 50-day challenge. Get on it, people. Let's go. Because if anybody asks me how to start a podcast, I'm going to ask, have you started your 50-day challenge yet? And if the answer is no, then there ain't much I can do to help you out. 50 days straight, people. 50 days straight. I'll see you tomorrow.